So you know these videos that I film that I don't upload to YouTube at any moment in time. I emptied my camera footage this morning and noticed that the settings have changed on the Windows files import thing that I use. Where previously you could firstly set a default folder so it would always go to the same folder. So I made it go to the source folder for my vlog script, the script that automatically generates my videos for me, to make it really easy for me to edit and upload videos. That would have good that does. So that same import used to take the footage, the video, the day it was created, and put it into folders automatically. So my script was then able to basically just pull the folder, take the name of the file path, and then just go, and then just auto-generate everything. It doesn't do that anymore. Firstly, it goes to C drive pictures, no use to anybody. Secondly, it just slams them all into the thing. So, pain in the ass. I'm gonna have to update my script to, well, no I'm not. No I'm not. I'm gonna have to manually put the video files into the folders, aren't I? What a pain in the ass. What I'm saying is I could update the script. Well, yeah, I could update the script, import them into singular files and just be like video 1, and then extract the day metadata from the files. Ugh, what a pain in the ass. So, not good. While I'm literally over 6 months behind, it's just made it even harder for me to catch up. Even though December, the entirety of December is only 2 days. So in theory, I could catch up an entire month in 2 days. I wanted to go back to daily uploads. But anyway, otherwise the first day today. So as an estate, it means I'm working with 2 different teams. And I'm trying to spend more time with one team than the other. But no one responds on that team. Like you message them, no one responds to you. So I'm stuck with this. So I couldn't get the end-to-end tests running for their apps because it relies on Cypress. Can't install Cypress because I can't get the proxy set up right. I'm asking people, finally get someone to say, oh, you need to raise a support ticket. The support ticket I raise to get myself whitelisted on the proxy so I can access it, gets spotted by the security people, and the security people are like, this isn't approved software. And I'm like, I just inherited this end-to-end suite. I've got nothing to do with this. Don't send me to prison. So now I'm tasked with trying to figure out why we've got these tests, and if there was ever some informal kind of approval that went on to allow them. Oh, mad days. / maybe it doesn't need to be actively installed. I don't know. It's npm. It's odd because it's not like it's a NuGet. It's like a NuGet package, but it actually installs it. Oh god, it's a pain in the ass. I'm not impressed. This has happened before where I've wanted to install because I'm reading the docs to run some other kind of tests that need the NUnit test runner according to the docs. I try and install it, get told off by security for installing something I'm not supposed to install. Oh, I've got a track record, mate, track record. But yes, I need to be like, well, I mean, I'm messaging people so much, being like, I need to do that, I need to do this. Can you help me? Can you help me? I need more information. There's no wiki, no chat, no nothing. It's going to be fun. And I think I've now assigned myself a job of converting our existing end-to-end tests that are in Cypress into C# ones. So happy birthday, boys. Otherwise, it's been a fun day. Also been trying to fix some stuff with my old team's end-to-end tests. Again, I'm struggling to drop things. I'm struggling to pass things over. Everyone just seems to think that it's all going to be me. I'm like, the failing end-to-end tests aren't failing because the tests are broken. They're failing because the environment's broken. I'm going to try and change them so that they do some extra retries and try to mask the problem, which isn't a good thing, to clarify. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to do now. Otherwise, national lockdown, boy, we're back in it. As of Wednesday, but today. Did our shopping, went to bed. Yeah, living the dream, boys. But yeah, we're going to be in national lockdown now until latest March. best case scenario, March. Which basically means I am going to get, at the end of this lockdown period, like birthday presents and Christmas presents all at the same time. Unless someone cottons on and realises what they can do is unwrap half of the Christmas presents, wrap them in birthday wrapping paper, save a shitload of money. That's what I'd do. Oh. To be fair, we didn't... If we would have known what we were going to do at Christmas, we would have just shipped the presents to each other's houses, I imagine. And like gift wrapped where available, otherwise in Amazon packaging. Anyway, yeah, living the dream, living the fucking dream. I'm also annoyed because it's another thing. I'm trying to like obviously manage 2 teams worth of work, and like I've naturally got more plates to spin now, and I'm using like the Microsoft to-do list app is dog shit. It's just so bad. I don't understand why it's got a my day thing. I don't understand why it doesn't just automatically put things on the right day. Oh, it drives me mad. That's another thing. I'm going to use the web app version of Todoist and then just like tag things with work stuff, you know. Holy smokes, man. Today was a day of sitting on basically a really long video call, trying to fix the environment for my old team. Well, not, I wasn't fixing it for that. In theory, I didn't have to be there. Like the old estate wouldn't be there, but I know more about how the tests work, and it's because of the tests that we know the environment's broken. So I have to keep like shimmying them away from the fact that the tests are fine, actually. You just need to figure out what's going on with the environment, and that's a pain in the ass because there's just so many apps that we need to dig through to try and figure out what part of our huge system is broken. And it's outside of our domain and everything. It's not fun. And while that was going on, I was trying to mask another problem. So that was a problem we had with something we do all the time. And then this other thing is like a problem that tests have connecting to something to prove that something happened. And that thing is failing because of connection issues with the environment configurations, which happens in prod as well, but it's very prominent in the tests. I'm masking the problem with a shitload of retries, but it's not great. But that was like my day basically. I kind of got somewhere with my retry thing. It took me a lot longer than not than it should have, than I expected it to. Just because like the way that it was like managing these connections that kept not connecting, it's a little bit more complicated than just fire at it a load of times. It was like hanging on to the old connections. So it's like, oh, it's a pain in the ass. Figure out what to do with this. But yeah, it's like, it's interesting because obviously I'm not in that world. I was supposed to be spending a lot of time on something else. And then while I'm on this video call as well, I'm trying to figure out how to do things. And it's like, I can't concentrate because I'm listening in. And like, every now and again, a question's like gone out. But it's interesting seeing how many things I know most about. Which is odd because the estate shouldn't know the most about stuff. But I was the best one before I went to Sill. But anyway, that's bad. Otherwise, normal walks. We had a really boring dinner. And I've been doing some programming on my laptop, just standard development stuff. I'm reverting back to the idea of fleshing out my own version of authentication via a version of Identity Server. So I wanted to step away from Identity Server. I'm trying to do it like this to learn more about OpenID Connect, which is like what it is. Open Identity Server is wrapping. So I'm trying to learn more about the protocols. But I am still investigating using Azure AD B2C because I think that's the better solution. It's just the worst for the testing, and it's hard to set up and configure, and especially in an automated fashion. But it's semi-possible with Pulumi. We'll see. And otherwise, though, yeah, I'm still working on that on something else, but that's on my computer. Been watching some TV with Laura. I'm starting to feel like I want to do stuff again, but I felt that a couple of weeks ago and had an opportunity to do it, and didn't do shit. So we'll see how it goes. But that was because I was hacking something together as like a proof of concept, whereas this is like, I want to know how to do this thing in a real environment, so it's a bit different. We'll see how it goes. I stumbled on a really interesting like real world demo though, which might really help. It doesn't use Pulumi, but we'll see. Yeah, in short, I feel like I'm like getting back into it again, which is good. I still don't really have like much of a purpose to what I'm building. Like if I step one step back and go, this is a waste of time, because I'm not going to get anything out of this. But that's not the point, you know? I'm so used to programming. Whenever I program outside of work, I'm getting something out of it because it's working towards Red Spider. It's not working towards Red Spider anymore. So therefore it feels like a waste of time, but it's not, because I'm learning things. Learning's good. And it's a hobby and a way to spend my time. And that's even better. Yeah, I treated programming like a hobby. But it wasn't really, it was work. And now I'm trying to relearn how to treat it like a hobby again, basically. Yet another day of me continuing to only do work for one team. Tomorrow that cannot be the case, but today I have managed to mask, well, potentially managed to mask. The problem is they're intermittent issues anyway, but we've not seen them fail. Again, I've managed to mask the intermittent failures with retries. I'm trying to figure out a good analogy, because like everyone's effectively been, so we've basically had the issue where we've had a broken environment which was stopping the tests from running. There was one thing that then changed to do with authentication, which was just like a complete rewrite of the whole authentication chain, which was done before I like took over the tests. That was happening during the time that our environment was broken. And then like everyone's kind of saying like everything's blocked behind the end-to-end test because we can't get a green end-to-end test run, which is technically true, because we need a green run before we can commit to pushing something out further up the chain. That's technically correct. But the end-to-end tests didn't actually need fixing. They were fine. They work in a working environment. And yesterday we did some fixes to fix the environment. I have now figured out how to mask. Monty is just exploring. I've now figured out a way of brute forcing past another environment issue, which is going to be way harder to. It's not like we haven't got the right services deployed or a config issue. It's like we have issues connecting to Elastic. Good fucking luck to you figuring that out. And it happens in prod as well, so it's not like it's just us that have done it, you know. But I'm like, everyone's been saying like all the end-to-end tests, and yes, technically I've put up fixes that fix the end-to-end tests, but we still have a problem. And I'm kind of torn because like partially I'm taking the credit for everyone, because everyone's saying the end-to-end tests are now passing. Jamie changed something, now they pass, but there is still a problem. This is technically worse because all we've done is mask a problem. But anyway, it's by the by. I've finally got it sorted. So tomorrow morning I need to tidy up I need to run it again firstly. I need to tidy up the suite because it was a relatively quick hack, and there's a better way of doing it, slightly better, just by moving it basically somewhere else. Relatively quick hack, so I just need to tidy it up, merge it, and then I'm not doing anything else for that team for the end of the week, and then probably for the start of next week. We also had a talk with a third-party company as we're trying to tell them that we think that the way they do something isn't correct, and they're like, oh, this is the way we do it. No one else has complained. And I'm like, just to put this into context, if we were half a day away from never spotting this issue, because like effectively they raise conflicts, if you remember me talking about it, they raise conflicts when they shouldn't. It's totally understandable that none of your other customers would have complained about that, because the correct thing to do when you receive a conflict is to not retry it ever again. So the chances of them like spot checking a conflict when you'd have a couple of them and then auto delete them all, Anyway, yeah, so that was an interesting conversation. But it's weird because like there's a lot of, because of the way I used to work, i.e. like hoover up everything, do most of the work, I'm still one of the most knowledgeable about a lot of the topics. So I'm like in the conversations, but I'm now able to put on like a tester hat instead, which is really good fun. But yeah, need to do a lot of work with the other team. Monty's playing with a loo roll. Hey! Hey! Monty fights me a lot. And I'm trying to figure out how best to like stop him from fighting me. And like there's two things. One of them is like, it's play fighting effectively. But then the other thing is like, I've been the enforcer that like, oh, he doesn't want to get out of the bath. Jamie gets him out of the bath. And then therefore I think like part of him is like more scared of me. And also I'm at a disadvantage because he spends all day in Laura's room because there's a bed in there, basically. So I feel like we've not bonded. So I'm trying to be a lot more like bonding, a lot of more positive affirmation. But the problem is, it's really difficult to treat him for things when he's not doing anything wrong. You know what I mean? That's what I've got to do, basically. That's what I'm doing. He's not done anything wrong, so I'm going to treat him. When he does something wrong, he gets ignored. But I've got to solve the problem of getting him out of the bath without making him fight me. So, see how that goes. I need to brush my teeth first, though. Of course, he stops going crazy as soon as you've finished, as soon as you start recording. And also, don't judge me for this. This is used to, we put really like harsh chemicals on it because it's big. And then we, it's used to like clean like the edge where you can get like a little bit of damp. You know, you get a little bit of damp up there. So you can think it, so that's what that's used for. And then the other one's just a sponge, which apparently we can't use anymore, Monty. Anyway, I need a wee, but he is fighting this sponge and just leaping across the room. So I'm just terrified of him effectively just like barreling into me like a 10-pin bowling ball or some shit. Oh, it's too dark for you to see. It's like, I don't know, 20 past 7. It's like -3 degrees. The ground is just rock solid frosty and there's so much fog. It's so pretty. I love it when it's like this. It's lovely and dry and cold and oh baby, yeah. Oh, my boy was just sat there posing until I turned the camera on. God damn it, boo boo. Today, after a brief scare, we had fully green integration tests, which end-to-end tests at last. Tidied it up, merged it in. We had 2 or 3 green runs. There was a scare because one person broke the tests, like broke the environment fully. And then the other person, someone else cancelled the tests when they shouldn't have done, and then that broke them because we have like 4 tests that deliberately break the environment and then reset it back up. But if you kill the XC, it doesn't reset it back up again, obviously. But yeah, after all that. But then a change that we've been trying to get in, we merged 2 things into the environment and then a test, looks like a legit failure, failed. So, not fun. That's not my problem. The tests work. So it's just kind of a show that it doesn't work, which is good. It's doing its job. I also managed to get the other team's app running. I haven't managed to get it like working, but it's running at the very least. I'm trying to figure out how the config stuff works. It's such a like mindfuck. It doesn't work the way you'd imagine it to work. Otherwise, Monty's been using his bed in my room. Living the dream. We're going to be best buds before you know it. Finished our first full week as an Esther. It was really good fun. Also, I've caved and bought hair clippers. For lockdown 3.0, I thought it was finally time, and they still had discount from Christmas sales. So I was like, I'm gonna get me a piece of that action, you know what I'm saying? Today we were predominantly in meetings. the tests went through fine for my old team. Did a couple of PRs for them, but I've still not got permissions to actually tick them, which is a pain in the ass. But otherwise had some meetings about like what the other team in the Hive is going to be doing for the next couple of weeks. For Q1, sorry. So basically the entire time I'm in SDET. It's going to be interesting. It's very authy, which is always good fun. Fucking hell, trust me. Trust my luck. It's very security based. I've thrown in some spanners into the work. We might have to do some spike tasks about how we're going to do the tests around it. Just because of the type of auth it is, it's naturally a pain in the ass. Oh god. I've seen it before at a job, two or three jobs ago, depending on how you count it. And it was a pain in the ass there, and it was relatively simple. It was as simple as it gets. So we only needed like 9 accounts to do everything. But like, oh my god, it's not going to be simple here, boys. We got so much more. It's going to be way more than 9 accounts to test everything out with. Ugh, not looking forward to it. But anyway, it will be good fun though. It's going to be a challenge. It's very front-endy, very authentication-y. It's going to be a lot of write-in tests that we've never had before, and a load of stuff that we've never had tests on it before. Looking forward to it. Oh boy, it's the weekend. I was woken up this morning at 20 to 6 by Monty, who just like bopped my feet and then bopped my arm. And I was like, I woke up and I'm like, firstly, god damn it, this even my like earliest possible alarm could have gone off at like an hour later. And that's like, if it would have woken me up, you know what I mean? And I woke up and I'm like, God, I've got a headache. And then he's just like, fucking go crazy wanting food from me. And I'm like, my head, why have I been the one that wakes up in the morning to feed you? God damn it. But I fed him and then went back to bed, had a drink and like some headache tablets and was like, oh God, go sleep. And then laid in too long. It's not good. Gonna try and spend some time tomorrow doing programming stuff. Watched a really interesting video today and it's piqued my interest a little bit. Otherwise though, today's been a pottering kind of day. Pottering about. We've been doing cleaning. We've been doing just like life admin stuff. I ordered a new driving license, for example. So there's that. Yeah, that kind of like, oh, check when this expires, check when that expires, when was that, etc. That reminds me about that thing. I need to probably sort that out as well. Kind of in the awkward phase where the first COVID lockdown happened at such a point where we didn't really benefit from it in like any other weird ways. Like, I think Laura's driving license technically should have had that extended by like 11 months. Mine? No. By like a month out. But like things like that, like MOT. Nope. So, sad times. But yeah, that's the life though. What else has happened today? That's about it. Went for a walk. Got some bread. Lit the fire. Played some chess. I've been trying blitz chess, which is like 5 minutes. You've both got 5 minutes to make all of your turns. And if you run out of time, then you lose. And God, is it stressful. I've been playing like 15-minute chess, where each of you has 15 minutes. And every time you make a move, you get 10 seconds back. So in theory, if you get down to a minute and you make a move, you like build time up, you know. It's a completely different skill game to do it fast. And the videos I watch online of the guy who does it make it look easy. Wow. I picked a fight today with this light bulb. So like when we first moved in, there was like a big old light bulb there. And then it broke the other day. And I was like, you know what, we should probably put a proper light bulb in. Put that one in as a temporary like thing. And then today I was like, I'm gonna find a light bulb. And like a light, proper light, you know, like a dome bathroom light. put it in. Ordered it with Screwfix, got it in, brought it here, took that off, and I was like, obviously put these lights on, which is fine. Took it off, and I'm looking at something like 10 wires, like an insane amount of cables. I'm like, what the fuck? And the light I've got has 2 cables, literally like, oh no, two cables on earth. This has I think it had 3 cables. I think in total there was 11. Because you had 3 that were all split into 3, and then you had 2 extras. And they were the 2 that... So in theory, if I just put my dome thing over that dome, and I didn't remove, I think it's called the rose. Monty's just bopping his neck. It's like, what is this tail? Get the fuck out of here, boy. That would fit, but obviously the one we had wouldn't. You need to remove the nose rose so you can put the other one on. But I think like whatever loop lighting, I'm learning all about loop lights today, we have, that should be in the ceiling, but it's not, it's like in the thing. And I can only find one on Screwfix that will take like all of the cables that I have, and it is literally the identical fucking thing. Like it's literally what that is. So not ideal. It's really annoying as well, because it was a fight I didn't have to pick, and I thought it was going to be an easy one. And I lost, so sometimes. Otherwise, today was a cleaner day. I was doing some programming. I'm kind of getting annoyed at the fact that I don't seem to be able to get my fucking Azure ADB2C working. It's really frustrating. And I was like, I feel like I should be able to do this. I've seen so many demos of people who can do it, and it just kind of fucking works. And I can't get it working, so it's stressing me out. That's what that is. I've been playing with 2 different things. OpenIDIct, OpenAddict, but IDIct, and Azure ADB2C. I'm just trying to get either of them working, to be honest with you. Can't get it working. I can get it, I just can't get authenticated, is the problem. I don't think it's doing the claims properly, but I started to get annoyed at it and gave up. Do we do anything else today? Not really, no. Like I said, we went to go, I had some crazy ass dreams, but that's by the way. We had like a hot chocolate while we were out. Not in, obviously, take away hot chocolate, put in the thing, but it's been like a weird DIY jobsy weekend. But this week, second week in my new role, this week is the week where the sprint ends and the new sprint starts for both of the teams that I'm aesthetic for. So it'll be interesting to see how my old team does its sprint and how this new team does. So it's going to be interesting for me to sit in them as a aesthete instead of as a developer. Otherwise, we are, that's in general as well, to be fair. Otherwise, we're like ramping up a little bit on the new project for this new team. So there's going to be a load of meetings on that. It's going to be fun. I need to figure out how we're going to do a load of security testing. Got to test a shitload of authentication stuff and basically attempt to test something that we've never had regression tests for. Oh, I know how to pick 'em, boys. Oh, I saw my back cracking there. Fucking hell. My baby boy's coming to sit with me while Laura goes out for a walk at lunchtime. We should be back soon. We've got some post-minute over there. It might be for me. I'm just going to go check what that is. Oh shit, yeah. These things have to be the worst part about this pandemic, because they ruin your ability to like slide, you know? We're trialling Monty on more food ATM. Because we've been probably underfeeding him. We've been feeding him as a like kitten and like giving him how much he's supposed to have if he's a kitten, and then we discovered we were looking at like effectively the difference between ragdolls and other cats, partially because we thought he was supposed to be a bit more like cuddly than he is, but he's like kittens like ragdolls like age differently. So he's still a kitten and he'll still be like boisterous and fighty until like a year old, whereas like normal cats will be like 6 months. But turns out they need to eat more. So we're just kind of guessing. We've doubled the dry food. Guesswork. No fucking idea. But we'll see. Like, he's like leaving a bit now to like nibble on throughout the day. So that's probably a good sign. Might be a sign it's too much. Don't know. Today was a bit of a write-off, boys. Well, officially it was. A outage. Well, it's not an outage. It's an incident that's happened where Microsoft have done something and fucked it up, basically. And we couldn't get access to any of our packages. So we couldn't access NuGet packages. We couldn't access build artifacts. So basically we couldn't build or compile any of our code, couldn't do any releases, couldn't run any pipelines. Bit of a shitfest. So basically that's all the developers blocked. I was going through all of the repos that we have for the new team, trying to figure out what repos we have for the next project and what our test coverage is like, and trying to identify issues. There's quite a few issues. Basically don't have, like, annoyingly, we have like 8 repos, all of them are somewhat involved. It's quite a big project. And the 2 most heavily involved are obviously the 2 least tested. Happy days. Yeah, so it's been a pretty boring day. So, yeah. Otherwise, it's bedtime. We went shopping and stuff. I'm trying to like, I was trying to figure out what, because everyone keeps asking what I want for my birthday. Which is odd because I've not got the things I asked for Christmas yet. But so, and I'm like, I don't need anything in my little life. Like, there are a couple of things I'm like saving up for, and I'm gonna like invest in at some point in the future. So like, if you want to take some of these things off me, or like some things like jeans, could always do some new jeans or whatever. But like, what I really want to do is like do something. I feel like I've basically got no friends. And like the one thing I do want to do is like, there's like a artificial wave pool in Bristol. It's like relatively new. I think it opened last year and then obviously immediately shut again. And I'd love to go, but like I've got no one to go with. Sometimes. But yeah, it's dawned on me that I really should try harder to make friends with people, I think. Oi! No. Oh my god, just finished watching Line of Duty, like series 3. Whew, what an ending. I think there's a chance I've already seen season 4. So that's where like the new bit's gonna end for me, you know? We'll find out. I can't remember. I've definitely seen the end of series 4, potentially on Gogglebox. Don't know. Otherwise, today has been, what have we done today? What did we do today? I did a load of like admin stuff this morning for work, set up a lunch and learn session, and all that kind of shit, and like objectives and all that crap for the year. Living the dream. Did refinement in the afternoon. It's a really interesting dynamic in the new team. It's really bizarre. Like, it's really hard to put my finger on as well. It's difficult. It's like 2 old teams smashed together. It's like it's got like everyone's used to being lone wolves or like being in pairs, and it's just interesting. It's just interesting. And I could tell I was tipped to the wink, but I can tell I'm gonna have a tough time, which I'm all for. I like being that guy. Basically, you just keep saying stuff over and over again until people start saying it for you, and then you've won. You know. Otherwise, what else? What else? I swear something else happened today, but it's now completely like blipped. I don't know. Another day down. I'm trying to figure out if I can find an app that can like track my mood, because I seem to go through like these weird mood swings where I just kind of feel lonely for a bit. So we're getting there. But otherwise, today has been bit all over the place really. Been trying to, what were we doing in the morning? I was doing some end-to-end test stuff this morning. Did an interview for an SDET role in the afternoon. Sprint review, sprint retro for my old team. I wasn't in the retro. Mainly I was doing the interview stuff. In the evening, we've been cleaning. We're treating our floor here. So we had to put like a chemical clean on it, and then at the weekend we're gonna like seal it. I think it's the technical term. So yeah. Tomorrow we've got 2 sets of sprint. Well, I've got sprint planning for one team, and the sprint. In theory, the sprint retro and review tomorrow morning. But I don't know when that's supposed to be, because one of the teams is in planning and the Scrum Master's in both meetings. Would have to be in both meetings. So I don't understand really how that's supposed to work. But we'll see. I haven't got an invite to the other one, so. But it's going to be exciting. It's going to be my first time in planning as an SDET. It's going to be really important for the new team as well. I've also been trying to befriend someone in the new team, because I feel like they are getting almost squeezed out a bit. And I'm like, I'm going to make an ally. But yeah, that's about it really. Ain't life exciting, boys? So, I had a bit of a scare today. I got back from my walk in the evening, and I was just like, I was actually standing near Laura, because Monty kept scratching the chairs, and I was like getting ready to pounce with the water gun, because he scratches for attention, so telling him off doesn't work. It's difficult. Anyway, I was leaning over the table looking at my recipe, and I realised something was like dripping from my nose, and I thought it was coming from here initially. I saw like 3 drops land, and then I realised it was like coming from my nose. Didn't feel like a nosebleed, and I like caught it on my hand and then on a tissue, and then it was literally like dilute orange juice, like fluorescent yellow, kind of like not thick or gloopy like snot or even blood. It was just like water. So I'm like, what the fuck is that? I've never seen anything like that before in my life. Google it. What's the first thing you Google? What's the first thing that comes up, boys? Brain fluid leakage, which normally comes from like a head trauma or operations. And if it happens for a long period of time, you need to have an operation on your brain. And I shit myself, and I think I'm going to die. So, I mean, maybe I still am. Maybe I do have a hole in my skull that's allowing brain fluid to seep out. I don't know. But it's only happened once. If it happens again, I'm calling the fucking doctor. Oh God, but yeah, I didn't like that. It was pretty scary. Laura choked me out. I don't think Laura realised how much I was freaking out about it to start with. But anyway, good fun. Otherwise, planning, 2 sets of planning today. What my current team is picking up a story which I'm going to be quite heavily involved with, but the other team hasn't really picked up a new story. They're all old stories, which I wasn't involved with anyway, or spikes. So thankfully I'm out of the way. They've annoyingly not picked up the spike that touches on tests. So I'm going to start picking that up behind the scenes, because I imagine they're going to want to try and finish. They're going to want to try and start the work before they've done all that. So I'm going to be like, I'm going to have to get ahead of the game. So I'm just going to do it, at least from my understanding, and then keep my mouth shut. So when they do it themselves, I can guide rather than just tell them, you know. But yeah, lots of meetings today. That's it. The only other thing is that I've like decided that I want to get some like AirPods-esque things, because like walking around with big headphones on in the rain is annoying. But now, because I have so many meetings, I have to listen to a lot of meetings that I don't have to take part in, and I feel bad because basically Laura can hear when I'm on meetings. She can hear what the other people are saying all the time, effectively, and I feel bad for that, effectively. So the problem I have is with the over-ear ones is my like I don't know why. It happens in meetings, but it doesn't happen with music or podcasts. But my ears get like really like pressurized. I think it might be to do with my like mouth moving, maybe. That it's like kind of gets the noise cancelling to like suck into my head. Don't know. But yes, I'm trying to find some headphones that enable me to listen to my phone and then go to a Teams meeting on my computer. That's the dream. And then also, if it's raining and I'm out on a walk, I can just have little things in. On dry weather, I'd wear my big ones, but like, yeah. Monty's just throwing his litter around. It's time for my bedtime. Come downstairs for my morning cup of tea. Laura's not having one at this time. She's in a meeting. I like pushed the door open to be like, do you want me to get you a tea? Because like, if one of us is in a long meeting, she got me a tea yesterday. I was in planning, and she looks like she's like in some kind of prison or something, where it's like if you even look like you're not paying attention to this meeting, you're shot on the spot. She just turns around like, sees me, doesn't do anything, and I'm like, you want a tea? She's like, oh, that's so funny. Meanwhile, when she comes in, I'm like, yeah, go on then. I'm a lot more chill with my meetings. This little terror. He's been a little terror. He's just been like sitting in the corner of the room and then just coming in trying to like play like wrestling with your leg. And like using the duck. I'm like, play with the duck. But then he'll like lie down and he'll be like, okay, finished? And he'll go like this. He'll be asleep. His little head down. He'll just go. I've been having an absolute hoot trying to figure out how to automate some registering some stuff, been testing some things for one of the teams, creating some test users and all that kind of shit. It's been great fun. Had a great day. Lots of walking today as well. Walk in the morning. Went out to get a pasty for lunch because it's a Friday. Treat yourself. Did the shopping for next door. Went for a walk. Madness. Otherwise, nothing's gone on. Interestingly, about half day, I developed a sore throat. I also slept like an absolute bitch last night. I woke up like, you know when you wake up like every hour? And I also dream. I keep dreaming dreams like this, to a certain extent, where I get my jaw locked. Like my teeth locked together or some shit. Oh, God, it's horrible. It'll be an interesting experiment tonight anyway, because previously, all week, I've been getting up at like 6, have a shower, feed the cat. Now, I get up at like 6, like normally 10 to 6 or like 20 to 6, but like more or less 6. Have a shower, have my breakfast, feed the cat at like 6:45. And I'm trying to do that so he disassociates me waking up with him getting fed. In theory, that means he won't come and bop our feet in the morning to get food. You never know though. There's a couple of things I'm trying to train him right now. I'm trying to train him paw. It's difficult though because he thinks the hand that's going for paw has the food in it. Sit. He did that this morning. Sit. He knows how to sit, but like we did sit, and then he wasn't allowed to move until I'd put the food down and said you can go. Normally, like he'll sit, and then as you put like the bowl past him, he'll go for the bowl. Not anymore, boy. So we're learning some tricks. What we're currently learning is try to follow his name. Easy, right? Not easy. He doesn't know his name yet, but we're trying to train him to like come to us when we call him. It's not working. Mr. Momo has just been chilling in here with us on his little rug. Oh, what a babe. God damn it. We've had possibly the world's most boring day. Firstly, Monty last night didn't work. Not only did he wake me up at 6:20, he also woke me up at 3:00 in the morning. So I didn't fucking work at all. But we've had the most boring day because we've been in the kitchen because we've been trying to seal the floor in the hall. And it needs like 6 hours to dry and all that shit. So we've been in the kitchen all day. And it's not worked out quite to plan, so we need to figure out why the heck it's not worked. But there's some tiles in particular it hasn't like sealed to. We don't know why. So we're looking forward to doing that all again, including all of the prep work that we did for it as well. It's going to be a hoot. That's basically it, to be honest with you. Been doing, well, saying that, been doing a load of admin. Got a good discount on my internet. And something else I did as well. I was like, oh yeah, I'm on a roll now. Can't even remember. That's how much of a roll I was on, boys. The neighbour I do shopping for, this is her third COVID test. I'm just dropping it in the box for her. But she wanted to give me some black grapes that I bought for her the other day. She wanted to give them me as a like gift. So firstly, this is the person, by the way, who whenever she gives me like what's the word? She gives me money, I pay by card, and then I like take the change or whatever. The money that I take off her, I wash because it smells of smoke, like because she smokes so much. So firstly, the grapes are going to smell like smoke, so I don't want them. Even if I did want them, I wouldn't want them, right? Secondly, as she's walking to the door, she's like hacking out coughing as she's just hobbling over to the door. It's like I'm like, well, that's lovely that on those grapes. I can't wash them, can I? Jesus Christ. But anyway, yeah, I literally take it like this, and then I've got some hand sanitizer, and I go back and fucking wash my hands even more. So bit gross, mate. This isn't just because she smokes, this is because she potentially has COVID. Just dropped Laura off in town for a socially distanced walk with a work friend. God, I'm gonna get my hair cut today, which is why it's not gelled. I'm gonna level with you guys. Like, I can't take much more of this lockdown bullshit, you know. Oh, it's driving me. I'm climbing the walls. My like mental stability is fucked. It's like every day's the same. There's no delimiter. Don't know if that's the right word. For like a day and another day, you know? Every single day is the same, every week's the same. Nothing happens. Nothing to talk about. There's nothing to say in life. Or no one to say it to, even if it were there. Fucking hell, man. I'm fucked. I just can't keep my head straight. All I need is to be able to do what Laura's doing now. Right, I'm gonna make a sandwich, make some lunch, and I'm gonna go upstairs and do some programming. I'm not gonna be doing anything new. I'm just gonna be building up the thing that I've got, and I'm just gonna be pushing forward on that again. Just because I need to like get into a rhythm of doing stuff. You know, I don't want to be like stop, or I don't know how to do this, challenged. I just need to be able to get into a rhythm of doing something. So I'm updating my old identity server into a new identity server, fuck everything else. God. It's the end of the day. It's battery died. It's the end of the day. It's been a really fucking long weekend. I just like... can't... Oh, fuck me. Just like, what's the fucking point? What's the fucking point anymore, man? I don't know how to like get out of it either. I don't know how to like stop, like fix. I know it's like mind over matter. I just don't know how to fix it. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like empty. I had my haircut, by the way. I don't know if you noticed. I was too stressed yesterday. I had absolute boatload of meetings this morning. A lot of like 2021 roadmap stuff, which I wouldn't have had to go to, but now all the estates were invited, but it's team leads otherwise. Don't know really why I was there, to be honest. Otherwise, I've been trying to brute force my way into this thing where basically I need to create these things for some tests, because I need to basically create a thing, triggers an event to say it's been created. We need to capture that event, pass it into a third party. Obviously I could just raise the event myself, but that's not quite the same. We're just marking our own homework at that point. Problem is, nobody has any tests that actually do this thing. And I understand why, because it's a bitch. I'm just gonna have so much data, a lot of it like real worldy stuff, like valid values. So like, you know how you can tell what type of card it is from a card number, like whether or not it's MasterCard or Visa, things like that, basically. Things that I've got problems like that, not that problem, but things like that. It's not fun. I'm like trying lots of different ways of getting around it, around doing this thing, and I just can't get there. So I've just started brute forcing it through C#, like building out some actual end-to-end tests for it rather than Postman scripts. But it's not fun. But yeah, that's basically been my entire day. We went shopping. And we realised that we were the only people there not doing shopping on our own, like one by one. Week previous was like relatively normal, but it was just like dead. The whole shop was like basically empty, and everyone's going around singles, and we're the only double. Well, we're the only like one of very few doubles. So that's how we're gonna have to go back to shopping one by one, which IMO doesn't make a lot of sense. In the sense that if I get ill, Laura's getting ill. That's unavoidable. And the only time it makes sense going shopping one by one is if you're going at like peak time. The shop's empty when we go. Anyway, otherwise I've just been chipping on with some programming. I'm trying to like whatever my previous like process was for like my daily routine, whatever that wasn't working. So I'm trying to. Monday's a bad day, but I'm trying to figure out how I can move things around in my day to better suit my mental stability. Let's call it that. Today, all day, in fact, basically, since Christmas, I've been thinking about how much I just wanted like some fried chicken, like southern fried chicken. Sainsbury's used to do like a pack where you could get it and just put it in the oven. Lovely. That's all I wanted in my little life. But Sainsbury's stopped selling that. Now they just do like breasts. Ugh. I've been craving it, and then today the craving got too high. Monty looks like he wants to go in. I think we're playing a game now. And I caved. We had to order it in. I pressed the wrong button when I was ordering Laura's, and I ordered boneless chicken by mistake. So I had to give her some of mine. That was sad. But I had a big old fucking thing. It was great. We've had like a chicken place recommended to us a while ago, and god damn, it's just the right shit, you know. Otherwise today, made progress on my testing thing. Not all the way there yet. We're getting to the point where we're going to start deploying. Fucking hell. I'm going to deploy an extended version of something to try and get more logging out, because I don't know why it's failing the way it is. It's driving me mad. But yeah, so I'm redeploying a service we don't own to our service fabric to try and figure out what the fuck's happening with it. Driving me up the wall. It's just like whack-a-mole, basically. And I'm not convinced that it's going to be automatable in the way that we want it to be either. That's another problem, but we'll see. All I want to do is be able to actually do the thing. God damn, but we'll see. Anyway, otherwise, what else? We had a refinement session for my old team, and god damn, obviously I'm a estate now, but god damn do I remember what was so annoying about that fucking team. Could spend an hour just like not achieving anything, and then like you try and push people in like the direction of progress, and it's just like, no, they're so like single focused. They can't think about more than one thing at once, and that drives me mad. Oh god, I can't, like, it's so frustrating just to listen to, and I only have to be in refinement now for testing purposes. Fuck me, is it irritating? And it's just like, oh, anyway, by the way, it reminded me Honestly, I was doing like part of the being like an S-step thing. It's kind of an illusion to yourself. You're more lonely than ever. Like, I'm not really part of the teams, but I have more interactions with more people. So it's kind of like I'm more individual. I can do my own thing, but I still have all the interactions. But like, I was starting to like kind of miss being in the team and kind of being a bit like a new person to join the team. I think as a contractor, a new person to join the team, kind of feeling a bit like left out a bit. You know what I mean? But then yeah, refinement came along. I'm like, yeah, that's what. That's what that. But I didn't have a chance to go for any of my walks today, which is sad. I was doing admin related stuff instead. I started early, finished early, and then was doing admin. Called my car insurance provider, asking if I could not renew, and they're like, "You already terminated." I'm like, "Oh shit, I was with you 2 years ago. Never mind." Yeah. Anyway, bedtime. Hey, guess what, guys? I figured it out. I did it. I've done a singular one, and then all I needed to do was try and reverse engineer all of the fake data I put into the request to figure out how to then replicate that in a different environment. Tomorrow I have 1,000,000 meetings. I'm not even shitting you. I think I've got like an hour and a half when I'm not in a meeting. I've got meetings from 9:20 all the way through to 5:30. And I think, like I say, the biggest gap I've got is 30 minutes long. It's crazy. So today has been a day of just trying to get through the thing that I was just doing. I also did a lot of like working with 2 other people to like, where one new guy and then one like mentee, or I'm mentoring, showing him how to do component tests, which are acceptance tests in my world, is what I call them. We call them component tests. Helping him with that and whatnot. We're trying Monty's tower here. Dangerously close to the blinds. But we tried it there. Dangerously close to the TV. He doesn't like it behind there. Otherwise, another day of being cooped up inside. It's been raining. Oh no, I went for a walk in the evening. But it's been pissing it down. There's so much rain. And like, I've got waterproofs and umbrellas. I don't want to use an umbrella when it's windy. And it's windy, so I can't use that. I probably would go out for a walk if I could go out with my umbrella. But I feel like a lunatic going out for a walk in actual torrential rain. Like, it's all right going out and it raining. That's fine. But like leaving the house when it's tipping it down, I'm just going to get wet legs. It's not ideal. But hopefully it's dry tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Because I don't know how I'm going to get through a day like that without... Also, I'll be starting later as well. Starting at 9 instead of 8. I don't know how I'm going to get through a day of that without going for a walk. Oh, I treat myself to a long one. Went out on a lovely day. It's a bit spitty with rain, but it's a lovely day. I went out on a walk to explore a little bit, and I got a bit too far out, and I'm now Google Mapsing back because I'm 40 minutes away from home, and I start work in 40 minutes. So, but I haven't been out for, well, I went out last evening, but I haven't been out for a couple of days in a row now. So I need to make up for it, don't I? I need to get some steps in, boys. Well, a day of meetings like that, it's crazy. And then like in every single gap in the meetings, I don't know if I said earlier this morning, but I have like basically meetings back to back. The longest gap I had was 30 minutes long. And I think I had 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours where I wasn't in a meeting. Maybe less than that. It's crazy. And then it's just like trying to deal with all of the other stuff and just trying to basically build a list of things I need to do when I'm not in meetings. Oh man. But I'm the first to bed tonight because I'm pooped. Knackered, mate. Went for a walk after work as well, just to like de-stress, like not de-stress, but like it takes so much energy being in video meetings. Another day, really long in the mornings for lunch meetings, and then in the afternoon it was a bit of a tail off. I'm kind of stuck behind something. I'm waiting for a product owner to throw me some data so I can automate something for him. But we'll see how it goes. There's also a minor chance that I've spent so much time trying to go via the API and it might not be good enough. So I might have to do it via the. I don't mind. I just might have to be manual instead, which is not ideal, but I could try and replicate what I was getting in via the API after the fact, and then kind of skip a step for future documentation purposes. But I had that refinement session with the other team. I've decided a pretty good strategy is to kind of say what I'm worried about and like phrase it as like, or something I'm worried about. They were talking about like how we're going to split up the work. And like step one is basically copy and fork the repositories, which is all very well and good. But like from a testing perspective, from a technical perspective, yeah, you've done that. From a testing perspective, you just built an entire new website that needs testing. And like, from a technical perspective, you shouldn't have broken anything. Yes. But it doesn't necessarily mean nothing's broken. You know, and I'm trying to like square that in my head, and like they made a pretty deep point which I'd not thought about is like the point of like an S step versus QA is I should be able to bring some of my developer knowledge, in which case how much of my developer knowledge is too much developer knowledge because I'm a developer. So I need to square some of that understanding with the principal SDET person and be like, am I overthinking this? I feel like we need some basic authentication stuff to cover off all of the roles to make sure that that link works. That's what I'd do if it was manual. So if this was a manual test, that's what we'd do. It'd just be like, okay, that's the rules. But it's not. It's only automation tests. Well, there will be manual tests as well, but there'll be automation tests. So ideally, we'd go for one, right? Surely. And then maybe, because let's go like 1 to 2. I don't know. But yeah, so that's fun. But I figured out like a pretty good way to talk about it is effectively to go, I'm worried about this, and just kind of lob a tennis ball into the air and then kind of like guide them. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Otherwise, it's been a good day. I've been out for 3 walks. Went out for a walk at lunchtime as well with Laura. 11,000 steps, which is good. 3 walks, 11,000 steps, which means not good enough for my averages, is it? It's like short of 4,000 steps a walk. That doesn't make a 10,000. Damn. I've tried to bump my step count up to 10,000 instead of 9,000 because it tells me on my watch this like smaller dial is percentage of your goal. At 9,000, it was just annoying to read, quite frankly. Otherwise, we had pizza for dinner. I'm going to bed. I don't know why I'm so tired. To be honest, I'm fucking knackered. I'm just going to try and wake up early tomorrow. I'm going to try not to have a lie-in. Feed the cat. I'm going to program it. Because I want to carry on with the thing that I'm doing. This authentication thing I'm doing. And I want to figure out in my head how, if there's anything that I want to build fast. There's lots of things I want to play with, and I just want to try and play with it instead of trying to build an entire fucking enterprise-based software system around it, you know? Today was errand day. Woke up nice and early, which I was actually kind of proud of. Fired off some emails. Had a bit of like therapy via email. And otherwise, like, I did something else this morning. Well, got dressed, got ready to roll out. We headed out and had to go to the pet shop to go get Monty stockpiled up on food and stuff. We need to find some, we're running, nowhere can we find fish kitten food. So it's going to be very matey for the next couple of days. Then I did a run to Wilco's and Sainsbury's for some DIY stuff. I say DIY stuff, I mean like a light bulb and some printer paper and a battery, like a watch battery. Living the dream. Then we had leftover pizza for lunch. living it up. That was the dream. Then it was like I did all the cleaning, which technically should have done last week, but we had a stay of execution. Don't know what that phrase is all about. And then otherwise, just been tinkering around on some stuff. Been doing a little bit of programming. Currently fleshing out my identity server. In 2 ways actually. I'm like doing the registration stuff down here and the like actual web pages upstairs. Kind of interesting. Just like kind of got 2 different like workflows going at the same time, depending on where I am. And that's about it. We went for a walk. Standard weekend shit, really. Tomorrow, not really sure what we're doing either. But I'll probably get up early. Trying to like regiment my thingy a bit better. Get up early, do a bit of programming. That's what I'm planning. Managed to go through this whole weekend, tick off everything on my to-do list. Great. There were some things from Friday that I moved to Monday and the midweek for work, but otherwise, that's pretty good. I had a bit of a lie this morning, didn't want to, but the problem was my watch buzzed to wake me up. It woke me up. And then the cat walked in and started like scratching the bottom of the bed and then like bopping my feet. And at that point, if I wake up, it's got to excuse this. If I wake up, he thinks that doing that will get me to wake up and then feed him. No. So I had to pretend to go to sleep, and then obviously I actually fell asleep, and then my other alarm went off at 7. Because my watch will go off any time within an hour. It thinks it's best to wake me up, and it just always thinks it's dead on 6 o'clock. The fucking thing. But yeah, otherwise we had a really slow morning because we had to do like it was like a cleany day or whatever. We've got fuck all to do today. It snowed, actually. But yeah, we've got fuck all to do today, especially because it snowed. Although I wanted to go for a walk in it, but it just didn't work out because we had a brunch, like a really late breakfast because we had a big old fry up. Oh, god damn, it was good. And then otherwise, Laura did some cleaning because we like split the cleaning jobs. I did cleaning yesterday. I've been doing some programming, been chipping away at my security thing, splitting it a little bit, making it a little bit better than it used to be. But nothing else exciting. New t-shirts on. This is red, don't you know? But yeah, so not a lot going on really. Played some games, played Ticket to Ride, played a bit of Xbox. Nice and chill. But yeah, otherwise I'm trying to set up my security service. I'm just like kind of migrating it over to .NET 5, making it support Docker. Previously it was Service Fabric. Making it multi-tenanted so that it can deal with multiple platforms. And that way it'll be able to support RadSpider and this other thing I'm building. So yeah, I'm having a bit of fun with that at the moment. But what I'm specifically interested in is how to. A lot of the problems you enter with testing is when you have a shared resource that can't be like burnt down. And it's like important, like authentication is a bitch because you've got to have a user. How can you have a user without having a user? That's what I want to know. Like if I wanted to spin up the service to run some tests in memory, but I wanted to also test the authentication in memory, can I do it? I figured out how to do it before, but it's effectively having a fake identity server in the tests, which is like not ideal. So I'm trying to figure out if there's a way I can do that with Docker instead. Well, then that wouldn't be a component test, it'd be an integration test technically. So you might just have to turn off authentication at component level. That's fine, could deal with that. But yes, I'm trying to figure out a way of like creating a Docker image that could like automatically be spun up with whatever like users and stuff you need. But yeah, I'm going to end the video here, ladies and gentlemen, because it's bedtime. Saturday tomorrow, 25th. Standard Monday, coming up to the end of the sprint for both teams, and potentially be doing quite a bit of UAT stuff if the developers managed to develop the stuff in time. You never know. But yeah, thanks for watching this, gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed this bumper length video. I'll catch you later.